Hey guys, I'm live. We're attempting to do this. Uh, this is a bit different than usual. I'm having to use my iPad here to go live. So it's going to be a new way. Luckily, the platform I use can do this, but we're going to do it. It is the Daily Class Pilot Watch Party. I know it's late. I was even late to the group that was going to do it. And we're going to watch. We're going to watch this here. We're going to watch the pilot for this. It's a great show. Um, and we're going to talk about it for a bit. If anybody hops in, it'd be great to chat with you guys. But if not, we'll still get to it and we'll still watch. So, and I'll still say my opinions, and you guys can come in after the fact. That's completely fine. But go ahead and we're going to put it in, and we'll almost get started. It's on HD. Okay. I have to change my HDMI input so it's on the Blu-ray player. I don't have anything in here, do I? Oh yeah, I got my Walking Dead in here from when I was watching Walking Dead. But anyway, guys, I'm glad I can do this on mobile now, which means I can stream a lot more. The quality may not be the same for a bit. Now, the audio will get back to what it was. If you watch my podcast episode, I had a mic. So I have a mic now, but it can only go into my laptop. I can't use my laptop because I don't have internet. And I had a Verizon malfunction. I got cut off early before the whole 15 gigabytes was used. So I got cut off prematurely for whatever reason. I guess Verizon has to do a good job of explaining that. I was trying to update a game, and the update was less than 15 gigs, but it cut off and said I had to use all 15. So the other gigabyte and a half, I guess, went to somebody else. I don't know. But I've got it in. And for those of you who don't own this physically, which is Deadly Class Season 1, you can get it on digital. It's available anywhere. You can buy things on digital. You can get Season 1. Also, the first episode is available to stream on Daily Motion. You can download the Daily Motion app. You can get it on Apple or Android devices. You can download that Daily Motion app and just type in Deadly Class, and then there's a sort the duration, and make sure it's the highest duration is on the top, and you'll see one that's around 53, 54 minutes, which is around the pilot length, I think. And you can watch it, and it is the pilot, and you can watch it on Daily Motion if you don't have it there. But you can do that. You can do Daily Motion. You can own it physically, like I do, which is what I would recommend, or you can own it on digital. I wish the physical would have gave you a digital copy, but it is what it is. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do similar to what Zack Snyder did and what he does in his watch parties. I'll show you a specific frame that I stop on, and then I'll show you specifically, I'll turn it around and show that frame through the camera here, and then I'll do a countdown, and then we'll start. So that's how we're going to do it. I'm glad for anyone who hops in and watches this. This show holds a special place in my heart, and it always will. I didn't intend on being up this late doing it, but it is what it is. And I love this show to pieces. Deadly Class always holds a special place in my heart. I can get more into it after the pilot. I actually have a bit of a story of just how much it means, and the fan base. The show was such an interesting adaptation from comic to show. And I get more into it in a podcast episode called Storytelling Part 1 with Cameron Box. You can check that out with the 3AM Gaming Jamming Cinephiles. You can check out our podcast. We get more into that there. And the podcast audio, as I said, improved in our newest episode called We're Back, talking paranormal acting and music and horror films with Santiago. So that episode, my audio is a lot better. And we even recorded it in a Zoom format. So you guys are about to experience, once we get a rebrand going, we're trying to get a new logo out for the podcast. And when we do that, we can get an authentic logo, we'll launch a YouTube channel for the podcast, and we'll put full episodes up, and then we'll open a secondary clip channel, or we'll upload the clips on the podcast channel. I think we're going to open up a secondary clip channel though, if I had my preference. But that's enough about me. We'll get started here, get things set up, and we'll get going. And so let's go. Okay, I need to turn this volume up. I may have to turn it back down, guys. I don't want you to hear too much because I want to get copyrighted here. That's not what this stream is for. It's just to hear thoughts, have a fan base talk about it. I did not work on this on set or anything. It's just a fan doing this to kind of celebrate the show. About a week ago, I think it was the anniversary. Now, I don't know if it was the anniversary of what specifically. Wow, that's actually, I bet you can probably hear this. But it's the anniversary of the show. I'm guessing. Probably not the finale. Probably the announcement. A week ago, today was the announcement. Not necessarily today because this is early Saturday, but a week from the 3rd. So a week ago. Not yesterday, but a week before yesterday was the anniversary, I think, of the show getting canceled. So they didn't bring it back, I think. That was the anniversary of it. And man, was there a lot of fan campaigning. I've yet to do that. All right, guys. So I put it on physical. I'm going to show you this one thing. I haven't gone to a frame yet, but for those of you who have it on physical, it'll look something like this. Okay. You see that? It has Reagan Youth there. So it's got that. Let me go to camera one. Right. All right. As you can see there, I've got it right here. It's showing it right there. I'm on Reagan Youth. So if you own it physically, you want to be on Reagan Youth, guys. And if you don't own it physically, the pilot is Reagan Youth. So that is the one I'm on, and we're about to get started. I'm excited to talk about this one. I could do like a 72-hour stream talking about Deadly Class, man. I just love that show so much. But we'll keep it realistic here. Around an hour. We won't do too long. It'll be a bit over an hour though, because we're going to do a watch party for the pilot. If you guys really, really like this, then we'll see what happens. I'm sorry about that. I had to defer an installment on my phone system update. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and get everything set up. I don't think I could turn off the light. I don't think the camera would register very well. It actually kind of does. All right, so I can actually turn off the light here. We'll see how well this works with the light off, because it does get a bit dark in the lighting. So hopefully all works out. I don't know. Fingers crossed, guys. Fingers crossed. All right. We'll do the Zoom style format here. Let me see. Where's my volume at? I'm at 26. I may have to turn that down. Let me start. I'll be able to know if it's too loud, you know. And if I have to turn it low enough, I mean, it'll suck, but we'll have to. If we have to, we gotta do what we gotta do. And I'll put it on captions for me, because I don't want to get copyrighted here. This is just for a fan experience / a get to know me, let's chat situation. I don't see anybody happening in chat. It's completely fine. Guys, I know it's late. I didn't intend on it being late, but things popped up. I thought I may be hanging out with people as a late night thing. Turns out I wasn't, but I was still talking to somebody, a family member. I was on the phone for quite a bit, just catching up. So that took a while. So I pushed it So I had to push this back. Originally, what could have been about 10 or 11, we could have done this. I could be asleep by now, but we're just going to do one episode. And if you guys like it, you can either leave a like or a comment letting me know and subscribe. Let me know that, hey, we enjoy these watch parties and we can do more of them. And in the future, when I can, we can do some watch parties. We can do Dead to Class the whole season, Um, so I've mostly just talked film, but I'm okay with reviewing TV shows too. They're still physical media. They're still entertainment media. They're still, production qualities that go into it. So I'm completely okay with talking and reviewing those as well with you guys. Um, so yeah, and we're gonna get started. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm going to swap to the back camera again. I'm going to get it set up at the exact frame, and we're gonna do our countdown and get started. So we're gonna swap it here. Camera, back camera. Okay, showing my phone here. All right. Is there a way that I can? Okay. All right, guys. It's not perfect, but it'll get the job done. Reagan Youth. All right. All right. Right on this frame is where you want to pause. Right before he begins talking, you see it'll say San Francisco, 1987. This is when you want to pause it, guys. And then we can get started. All right. Let's go. And we can do the watch party here, and we can get it going. All right. So this is what we're going to do. I've got my remotes here so I can kind of keep this a bit under control, hopefully. Hopefully it all works out. But as you can see that frame, I just showed you. We're going to do a countdown. But I'll voice a bit of commentary. I might pause here and there. I'll say it. I'm about to pause to warn you guys, and then we'll discuss things. But mostly I'll try to talk over it as well. We'll do that, and then I'll do a little bit of what the show means to me, and then an outro, and we'll be done. It is a very late night one. I don't intend for this stream to really take too long, but it's going to be into 3 a.m. And if you guys listen to the podcast, I get paranoid at 3 a.m. So, with reason to be. But anyway, let's get into this, shall we? All right. I don't know if you can see this right here. I've got my remote here. Here is my play button right there that says play. I'm going to press that. I'm going to count us down. In 3, 2, 1, play.
World War I was started by a teenager with a pistol. Serbian peasant who chose to assassinate Archduke Franz Ferdinand. Set in motion a chain reaction culminating in 2 world wars and today's Poland. Character is revealed twice.
Oh, I don't have subtitles on this. It's weird. We're just going to have to hope that the volume ain't too loud for you guys. I didn't know they didn't have subtitles. Kind of sucks. Oh, the Brandy introduction. I mean, if I was Marcus, I'd be like, what the fuck did I walk into? Got this chick licking blood off her nose, putting it in her tongue. What the hell? And the musical numbers in here are obviously great. I mean, come on. 80s music.
seen what I had to do to get out of here. Heard the screams. We got fire. Shit. Maybe this is God's plan for me. Hungry. Homeless and wanted by every cop in the state for a dozen murders.
This really makes me interested in Benjamin Wadsworth as an actor and see what he does next, because he does a great job as. I mean, they all do a great job. All the actors and actresses do a great job in this show. Have they showed her yet? Eric, Sarah, Ron Robbins, Taylor Hickson. Hey, my favorite. My favorite. She's also pretty good in Motherland Fort Salem. Taylor is. She's good in that too. The OG Big Mac box. That's when you know it's in the 80s. Not that like I lived through the 80s, but it definitely has that vibe. They even went with the atmosphere, you know. Oh, I wonder if I can turn this up just a tad. Perhaps. You don't know my IQ. I'm proud of my 0.5 IQ. What's interesting about, I think, in the comic is Rory is not nearly as much of an asshole in the comic as he is in the show. In the show, they just made him much more cutthroat. One of the subtle differences they did in adapting it. And the edginess of this, man. I'm like, come on. Weed, acid. Man, if these watch parties take off, just imagine when we get to Sadad, man. That'll be a fucking trip of a watch party, man. Especially for you guys that haven't watched the show. You'd be like, holy shit, this is what's going on right now? When the hell did they get animated? But the beauty of it is, it all works. Ah, Maria. So ship those two. I'm not much for ship culture, but Maria and Marcus, they're up there. Ah, Billy. For comic readers, maybe it is good they didn't continue the show. Because we know what happens to some of the characters. No spoilers. Why?
Get up.
And Saya. That was good introduction to Saya. Anna Condor obviously does a great job here. It was good. This is a good action sequence. I didn't realize the budget that Rick Remender would need for a season 2. But I'm telling you right now, if I had that money sitting in my burning hole in my pocket, I'd float it to him. You wouldn't even need to pay me back. Seriously. No questions asked. Intro to the crew.
What'd you say, Mad Dog? You decided to get
Boys Home Massacre. Plot line for you comic book readers. They dive definitely more into that, but in the show, it's a pretty cool, interesting arc that they did as well. I like what they did with Master Lin, though. I like how they made him younger in the show as compared to the comic. And the comic is much more of a wise elder, whereas this he's kind of middle aged. And there's some other changes. If we continue these watch parties, I'll go into that they did in adapting his character. But I thought that were pretty interesting. Master Lin can eat my shit. Wow, that should have been my yearbook quote. You can eat my shit. Imagine having that as your senior quote, huh?
I'm offering you a chance to harness that fire inside you. Last little deadly arts.
That's great. This all seems really sane and normal and calm on punch. But, whatever this is,
Oh, this part here. That was the moment Master Lin went, we can use this guy. We'll go back for him. Plus, there's tons of gorgeous shots of cinematography in here too. Oh man, guys who watch this, they intercut animation, motion comic animation with live action in the episodes, and they do it so seamlessly in transition, and it really feels like you're bringing that comic to life. And I think the best way they were able to do that was I know Rick Remender, Miles, Field Scott, Wes Craig, they were huge in bringing the show up. I know Rick Remender was a showrunner, in fact, for Deadly Class. So they were definitely, a part of making that. So that's why that happened. You had the people working on the comic, working on the show, so you got to have that tie-in, that motion comic vibe. Also, with the live action, it really just felt like a comic coming to life in front of your eyes. So it was very interesting. And I'm not gonna lie, I watched the show first. I love this sequence here though, especially in the motion comic version because it makes it feel otherworldly. It makes it feel unnatural, which really adds to the scene and especially the narration by Marcus and just amplifies the horror of the situation. Uh, of him losing his parents, the way that he lost them.
away from another monster, away from another cage. I pray for help. What are you waiting for?
Saya scared monkeys.
I let you down, but Lynn's gonna bring you back. Yeah, well, Lynn's gonna be disappointed. Master Lynn can protect you from the cops. And once he's done with you, you'll be able to protect yourself from him. Not to be a safe Leah's place.
Plus, I feel a little bit better about it. I love when they go through the code of conduct and then Maria says what she says after. I love that. We find ways around the life. Love how they introduced this too. The misdirection, especially for Marcus. He's probably walking into this like, wait, yeah, you guys have school in this little hut? It's all underground, literally and figuratively. Oh, sorry, guys. Been up a while. Fiddling around with stuff. And he's like, oh my God, he's sucking behind me. One of the most rated things of this adaptation was Benedict Wong being a younger, more middle-aged version of Master Lin. And I would have loved what they would have done in a season 2. There's so many ways they could have took it, especially with how they ended him in season 1. Oh, that's another cliffhanger that I wish they would have freaking got a season 2 to resolve. I know people are like, well, if you read the comic, yeah, but the comic Master Lin and the show Master Lin are two very different type of people. Think about that. Peasants to control to overthrow corrupt masters. There are people that have that mindset even today. And however you execute that mindset can be very frightening. Oh, seeing that King's Dominion logo makes me very sad. I actually made that my senior tile. I could go to Joe Burns right now on a visitor pass, go to the art room, and in there I can go to the back, look up. In the style, as Marcus has his shower scene, in this, see this magenta color here? I painted that ceiling tile, this magenta color, and the King's Dominion logo was in the center. And I went Invitum Mortem. I love the show that much, and I still do. It's my favorite show ever made, but I don't know if the rewatch value hurts because as a fan, you want it to continue the story because they were going in different directions. You could tell from the show to the comic, which is what you do when you adapt something, of course. But you want it. The way they were adapting it was so interesting, and how they were taking certain characters and certain characters' interactions and where they were taking them was just so interesting that I really would have liked to see what they would have done. So, yep, that was my senior tile. So I made a senior tile at my high school where I graduated over daily class. So that shows you one reason why I love the show so much and why I hold a special place in my heart. Part of me wants to go and grab it and bring it home and like frame it to forever look at it, you know? I know some people could do that. I'm tempted to do that. Chico. I loved to hate this character. Loved to hate him. That's the performance there. If you love to hate them, and you can, and it's meant for you to love to hate them, it's a good performance. Victor. Brandy. This is in that moment where you saw Brandy freaking take the blow. He went, I'm surrounded by crazy people. That's another reason why I like this show is that their assignment in this training of assassins underground academy is to search their first assignment. One of the like their assignment for like the mid semester grade is search for people who are worthy of death and kill them. It's just such a what? This is our assignment thing. And Maria picks Marcus. The shipping grows. Billy calling Victor gay was just amazing.
I know you're busy or whatever, but this thing it's coming. Guys always go for girls they can't have. Focus on me. Should have elbowed his gaping for a triangle. Then try something ladder. It's okay, I'll show you. And here, and here. Why'd you come back? I've been getting that reason. Think of any?
If it was me, I could think of another one. Now that's controversial right there. Lee Harvey Oswald.
In this case, the victim dies in a spectacularly nasty fashion. His blood seeps on every witness.
Yay! Poison Lab. We can introduce the Petra.
One common industrial poison ideal for making a statement. Sodium cyanide. Victor is dead in seconds.
You want to make a statement? Strychnine leaves your victim contorted and convulsing for hours.
And why we want it known that this wasn't an accident.
Poison delivers a clear message. No one is safe. Anyway.
You and me, we studied tonight.
Are you serious?
Your face, black hair, beautiful as you got. The Soviet Union will call you beautiful.
Petra, are you serious? I mean, I would be.
Sit down. I said sit down. Learn from his shame, class. Victor invited this attack with his arrogance. You always remember peace. You get a mop that really
Oh, God. Can you imagine having to mop up someone else's literal shit? Oh, damn. That would be the epitome of my day. I would not want to do that. That's when one of those times where someone can ask you how your day goes, and you could literally say you had a shitty day.
Chico's got a crush on me. Or he wants to kill me. Probably kill me.
I go with the latter, that he wants to kill him. But in some fucked up fan fiction, I'm sure they're some kind of butt lovers. There are people like that in the world. What can you do?
My old man's an abusive, low-rank cop out from you're a bloodthirsty orphan. We're losers, dude. Which kid's mostly CIA, FBI? Fascists. Exactly. Confederate cousin dealers, white nationalists. Nazis? Can't seem to keep those rascally varmints down. Oh, white power! Doing the Iron Maiden team? Leonard. Weak fashions. Lower on the totem pole, but he's not weak. I mean, what, you gotta join this D&D headband den? I think I'll just speak languages with them. Final World Order Watts. Party bummers. Leaders Willie. Who got hurt? One man's got his eye on the unobtainable Saka. Part Bellamy, 20 part Palm Queen, 100% bitch. Leads the Kuroki scene. Yakuza kid. Harley. No, dude. No. No. You're a rat. As in not from the legacy. You got the welcoming rat bones and season cheese basket. We're at the bottom of the food chain. No affiliation. Come on. I want to show you something.
Intro to all the rats. Lex and Petra both just vibing.
I'd like to sign up for your newsletter. Make sure Lex beat Marcus, the new rat. Where did you get it? By Chico. So I'm proper awesome. Alexis has a civility club. Civility is just lying to people about your true feelings. White cop. And the push from yourself. Oh, extra credit for making Susie Sue smile. Smile? After so cool that makeup? How long does it take you to paint that foolish, sad clown face, Petra? Holy mother, Batman!
I mean, hey, you make Petra smile. I call that a win. I'll tone back on the simping a bit. Jesus. I'm sure if there's someone in chat, I'd be like, stop simping. There's few things I'd simp for, but she's one of them. She's one of them. I'm sorry. If you're clarifying the character of the actress, not going to answer. I guess both.
Don't forget Bono.
What about it, my friend? It's barbaric ambition inspired you.
I'm gonna kill a guy who will ruin my life.
When he reveals he's going to kill Ronald Reagan.
Ronald Reagan. He said he's gonna kill the bloody Gipper.
Better do it before your head things keep going.
There, guys. Last spoke with Maria was Chico's cousin. Chico jammed the barbecue fork into his back. Left him a bloody paraplegic. Careful. The rules say.
Chico doesn't give a shit about the rules, man. He's a butcher.
No joke. Ready or not. After school today, I knew he was gonna die.
Intro to Chico. I could probably use some of those. I'm not going to say what they are because I don't want to admit on stream.
Okay.
It's not drugs, guys. Well, depending upon who uses them and how they use them, it can be, but
Get lost.
Please.
Chico? Mr. Chico?
Shocking Maria.
Maria. That's not what I said, though.
It's all bullshit. This stupid reputation. When I was 9, my dad and my mom, they died right in front of me. Court sent me to a boys' home. The place was just a sweatshop. They tortured us. They did a lot of bullshit. I heard some guards, but I didn't kill those kids.
I think that was a.
They're all wrong. That's not the point.
I think that's the wrong decision. Why would he?
It's all bullshit. You might try me.
I didn't take your kids to me.
Dude, that was an assignment. You don't have to tell me.
You told me I didn't have to be home.
I didn't tell you to start shit with the cartel.
No.
Then my wife. With the tatted-up vodka with legitimate killer and a theater kid. Do you have any idea where you are?
That's what I want to keep about.
He's gonna kill you. Only thing you can. Run.
Jesus, Maria.
It's nothing. He said he'd do a lot worse to you. So just forget it. Okay? Just leave it alone, Marcus.
Bullshit as hell. Trickle down, the shit don't trickle. Stuff like
Stay working hard off.
Well, you? You can be initially about it.
Three Chicos are back. And you're his bitch. See it! Chicos was shit. I'm so funny. I was having a time. You got something to lose. I don't. I bought a guy across the road for fun. You're supposed to.
I really think you'll kick me out for going to Iraq?
Shoot.
Do it!
That was a good scene right there.
Good. You're learning. Just a friendly spar with my new amigo. Get some rest, Marcus. We'll finish this way. Vámonos.
I did like that intro to the Marcus Chico situation.
Why you back was my new white whale. Was that redneck Hope Brandy's, and I broke through the mixing line.
Brandy's your girlfriend?
Girlfriend? Hell no. She a Nazi, Marcus. That ain't girlfriend material. What's wrong with you? I mean, we knocked boots a few times. But the Luca, I might that up.
I do like this interaction though, where Willie's trying to maintain his kind of persona.
You don't want to chit chat, want to act the punk, that's cool. But so we clear, you go help me catch this bad old buddy was telling Chico about. That's just some bullshit.
Always real. Or he's an animal.
Where am I at so far? Wow. We're approaching about 10 minutes left.
Good thing you ain't trying to be no artist. That's some black ass indie type shit right there.
That's comics movie. Movie Carrot.
X-Men? Dark Phoenix? That bitch protected everybody.
Hell fantasy mainstream melodrama bullshit.
Hey. Dark Phoenix on the whole long all that. Chris Claremont and John Byrne, motherfucker, say it. What?
Damn straight.
Here's the deal. You let me do this. I got you off anyway.
Held at gunpoint to be told that the X-Men comics are better than indie stuff. I don't know about that. I've read some good indie shit. And I'm not much of a comic reader. I mean, I read comics, but I'm not obsessed with comics. You know what I mean? I have to hear it through the grapevine, you know?
It's what you learn in fact.
Now, Rick Remender, though, he's one of those guys. He was the creator and writer, I believe, of Deadly Class. And he's done stuff like Fear Agent, Seven to Eternity, Low. Good shit. Good shit. And he's actually about to get some kind of Fear Agent. I can't remember if it's a film or show, but he's about to get Fear Agent developed. And Fear Agent, look like the concept, it's so good for film or television. I hope this one works out too. I hope this one actually works out though. If it's a TV show, I hope Fear Agent turns into like a multi-season thing.
None of this shit's me. I'm with passions. You're a light. What's this now?
Killing Rory.
His face disappears on an endless loop.
What did you do?
What's the movie?
I ain't cut out for this shit. Mom. She the OG for real. She knows me. Just send me the case to make it. dealing. Nobody telling me what to do. Nobody respecting shit.
Nah, it's awful. No one cares if I live or die. No one to sleep. Nothing normal.
Shit, normal to kings.
Maybe it's supposed to be most kids, yeah.
Fuck you said you wanted that.
Our pod's already done. We passed.
It's even worse than many assignments.
We need someone to do those for you too. And the truth of it is, I got nowhere else to go.
Love this scene right here. Such an underrated scene, especially the cinematography, dialogue between Marcus and Willie. The musical number, man. Allegiant by New World Order. No lyrics in the track either. You just have the feels.
No kind God watching over us. Life is insignificant. I'm sure if the whole bar is a brief flicker. Not gonna miss anything. Just shit that happens.
You embarrassed Chico. He'll never let this go.
What the odds that you're a black guy?
Jacob. My hero. I just gave you an excuse.
This is controversial, though, about Maria playing
So you killed him.
fake.
Leave him gone.
Sorry I let you down.
This is the one. They're gonna keep coming at you.
Yeah, because of you.
I'm sorry.
Sorry. You're sorry. I almost got killed.
I tricked you. But I wasn't with him. No one's respected me before. Chico gets advice about me. Not for me.
If you know, you know. Another thing that leads to more in Sadad episode, which is an amazing episode.
It's like the clubs in Moonshine. Everyone's getting wasted in the graveyard. You should come.
Yeah, sure.
Maybe, yeah, sure. You're a real driver, by the way.
I so ship those two. And I'm not one for ship culture. I'm really not. You don't see me going around freaking on my socials saying, "Oh god, these two characters are everything to me." Don't do that. I don't even do it with those two. I'm just like, that's a couple that needs to happen, you know. And when it happens, it needs to stay happening. Comic and show. Rick, remember, don't change. I'm not fully caught up with the comic. Don't change.
What's the response to that?
People are like the most taken by the faulty words of a freightliner.
Mm.
The response?
judge too, man.
His family was still gone, as are the men responsible.
Did it help?
On the first, even with my training, the weapon it haunted me. Years of sleepless guilt. Then, over time, I accepted it was my right to exact justice. Why should they enjoy another single day?
It's like you said. Some people deserve to die.
Once you shoot your first, choosing who does it, you'll see strength.
Some people deserve to die. Cold-hearted truth right there. I'm going to rewind because I freaking turning into a Godzilla King Kong over turning into King Kong over here. I want to hear this.
Enjoy another single day.
It's like you said. Some people deserve to die.
Once you shoot your first, choosing who does it, you'll see strength feels better than weakness.
Yes, it does. Strength does feel better than weakness.
Am I done with the assignment?
Not yet.
I wonder why he did that. Was it because he had his suspicions?
Really good one. Maybe this is who I am. What else is there? Some desk job? Suburbia? An overweight pill pocketing water phrasing the next generation with Comic Cons? Why participate in that? Is that really what I want? But it isn't. An ethical compass would be fine if everyone had one. But it's a cold, cruel world, and you can't survive without a family. Even if they are liars and murderers. And I'd be no different than a cop, or a soldier, or a politician. Killing is just a part of the profession. Maybe I finally found a reason to live. In a place surrounded by death.
What a line. Maybe I've found a reason to live in a place surrounded by death. Matt Lane from Matt Lane Fitness. There's your bygone gym moment. Well, guys, that ends the reaction portion. We'll do a bit of what the show means to me and some wrap up, and that'll be it. So, bear with me. We're going to get the lights back on, and we're going to do some wrap up here. All right, here we go. Lights are on. You can see me a little bit clearer now. All right, now let me go back to my camera here and going on back to back camera, guys. So you can see we just finished watching Reagan Youth. Great episode. Yeah. And as always, guys, if you enjoyed my reaction, my little watch along, my reaction, my little commentary, we can do that for all the episodes. Just let me know. And in the comment section, and also liking and subbing shows that you liked it as well. And but yeah, comment saying, "Oh yeah, we want more of this. We loved your input about how much you love the show and all that." So, but I love this show, and even though if I binge the whole season again, I'll still get a little sad that the show portion, the live action adaptation's not continuing. The comic still is ongoing, so. I still have that. The story continues, just not maybe in both ways. Because this is so damn good. I get into my podcast, I kind of break it down even more on the storytelling aspect. Again, the 3 a.m. gaming, jamming cinephiles. You can find us on pretty much any podcast platform. We're on there now. I actually just created an Instagram at that. So type in no spaces under case the 3 a.m. gaming, jamming cinephiles. Type that in. I do have an account. It is a pretty basic logo. Kind of looks like a desk with a coffee cup, but it has 3 a.m. gaming, jamming cinephiles even in the logo. I'm working on getting a rebrand with a new logo, of course. And we can do that. I'm trying to look to get some more podcast equipment in so I can kind of actually hook up to this iPad and maybe find ways to do Zooms that way. I don't know. But within a month to 2 months from now, I should have an internet situation way better than what I currently have to where I can have Wi-Fi. And then I'll be able to do the podcast episodes. I'll be able to do more streams from my laptop and cameras and better than this and the occasional laptop stream. So when my internet situation gets better, the streams will get better, obviously. But that ends it for the episode part discussion. We'll do some wrap up here. I appreciate anybody who comes in and watches this for a Deadly Class fan. I love this show dearly. I even love it so much that I even mentioned multiple times in some podcast episodes that I strongly dislike Sci-Fi as a network for what they did. They picked this show up with the intent of making it big to then pitch it after 1 year. They didn't even intend on keeping it. They picked this show up, listen to this, with the intent of letting it go. Who does that? You don't do that, But they did. They picked it up with the intent of not doing it. I'm like, what the hell? Like, you picked it up with the intent of not extending it. And I could tell because it was so different from when you hear of Sci-Fi, you don't think of Deadly Class. You think of shitty Sharknado movies. You just do. Or the new Chucky series. And I'm not even a Chucky fan, but I have my doubts about that. I actually did kind of enjoy the Chucky reboot. What is it? Child's Play reboot is what they called it with Aubrey Plaza. I enjoyed the aspect that they brought to it. I know some people did, but I did. So. And actually, I mentioned in prior episodes, I mentioned in my Halloween ranking that Child's Play is one of the few classic franchises from the 70s and 80s that I actually like. Like Friday the 13th, it's an okay franchise. For it being shock factor, gory, intense, I know why it's iconic because it was very shocking, gory, and intense for the time. So I'm guessing that's why it's so beloved, I guess. And then when it came to Nightmare on Elm Street, the concept of a person being able to kill people in their dreams and dying in the real world is so frightening. But for me, it was the execution of it, how they built tension and fear. I thought they did a better job in the remake of it. And I know I'm probably the only person on planet Earth that prefers it, but I'll even do a YouTube video. If enough people want it, I'll do a YouTube video on why I prefer the Nightmare on Elm Street remake over the original. Now, if we're talking script, the original has a better script. If we're talking acting, the original probably has better acting. I'm talking about on the basis of a horror film. I don't care if it has better filmmaking techniques. I'll mention that in my review. That's why I can't give Nightmare on Elm Street a 1 out of 10 or a 2 out of 10 for the original. I got to give it at least a 5 or a 6 out of 10. I'll give it a 6 out of 10. I'm going to give it that slight above 5, which is meh for me. I'll give it a 6 to okay movie. Even though I don't like it that much, I'll give it the okay because from a technical filmmaking level, Nightmare on Elm Street is amazing. But I'll get into that on a future video. But anyway, guys, Deadly Class meant so much to me. I instantly fell in love with it. And I got a little afraid when they weren't doing a automatic season 2 announcement. So much so that around the May portion, this was slightly after the finale had aired, I then went to a comic book store at Rick's Comic City in Clarksville, on the outskirts of Clarksville, not downtown Clarksville. And I went in and bought some Deadly Class comics. Well, right before I did that, I can't remember if I did right before I went in or right after. I think it was right before. Yes, it was right before. It was actually that morning. I made a petition to get Deadly Class back. Give us a season 2 or film. I actually changed it to film after a while. So the petition now says, give us Deadly Class season 2 or film. Just continue the story. Take your time. We will wait as a fan base, but we want it. Basically, is what it means. It's basically showing us the fan base still exists. We still want this. We're still vocal about it. And last time I checked, we had over 12,000 signatures, but only over 40,000 people have seen it. And now 40,000 people is amazing. It's awesome that 40,000 people have seen that petition. But there are so many more fans than just 40,000, guys. So yeah, that petition, if you remember, if you're a huge Deadly Class fan and you saw some articles made about it, that's my petition. The petition that they talk about in the articles is mine. And I'm not taking ownership for the signatures. That's the fans, and I'm more than happy to be able to give the fandom, me being a part of that fandom, the opportunity for them to voice it that way. But that's me. The petition, I made that, and I had no idea that I'd go from loving a show to loving a comic to making a petition, to that petition going viral to the point where it got articles made over it, to me wanting to become a filmmaker. It's been a hell of a journey. I appreciate you guys watching this. I'm going to try something here. No promises. I don't know how well it's going to work, but we'll try. We'll try here to end out on a bit of an interesting note. We will see, guys. So I don't know how well this is going to do, but we'll see. I'm going to go to let's do this real quick. And I'll go in here. Let me see. What am I trying to look for? Really new order. There we go. I'll go in here. We're back. And I'm going to end us out on a track that played just this episode. I'll hit us out for a bit. I'll let it play for a bit, and I'll cut us off. But again, guys, I appreciate anybody who hops in and watches this. You can comment in the comment section if you want more of these, more Deadly Class watch parties, and also recommend some other watch parties. Recommend maybe films or TV shows you want me to do. Now, if you wanted me to do more lengthy TV shows, like shows that have been around for a long time, I'm not going to do watch streams. I'll do videos where I'll record myself, kind of like this, what I'm doing, but I won't upload this as a stream. I'll just record it, and then I'll upload it edited on YouTube into smaller little portions per episode. If you wanted me doing Walking Dead reaction reviews type stuff, I could do that from time to time, but I would have to do that in a more episodic, smaller portion format. So yeah, guys, if you want me to continue this series of watching along to Deadly Class and then speaking bits about each episode, the pilot is one of the more underrated episodes in my opinion. I loved seeing, especially because I was one of those people who watched the show first, got so interested that I didn't read the comic. I love looking back on after reading the comic and the show, the differences they did in the pilot. I think it made it as such an interesting introduction. And I love what they do with Rory, making him much more brutal and intense here. I think it worked for television because if you were to just adapt him straight out of the comic there, I think you would have had a bit of controversy with Marcus because Rory wasn't all bad in the comic. He was definitely did bad things. He was definitely a gray area guy who did do things that made him deserve death, but not everything. Okay. Whereas in the show, they just made him cutthroat as fuck. So, oh, fuck, the word fuck that comes in later in a certain way. So, if you want me to continue this, just let me know in the comment section. Appreciate you guys watching, and I'm going to attempt something here. I don't know how well we can do this. I don't think it's going to allow me to do it too well. We'll try, though. It's not really doing it all that well, is it? I don't think it's doing it that well. It's not doing it that well, is it, guys? Sorry. It's not doing it too well. Well, I can't end out the way I wanted to. I was going to play Elysia. I guess I can kind of do it off my phone. The audio is not going to be nearly as good, but it is what it is. Let me look that up real quick while I end us out. Let me look that up on my phone here. My apologies, guys. I thought it was going to work, but on mobile, you can't share screen on mobile. So, not on here yet, sadly. Let me go on. It may not be the best, guys. You may not be able to hear it too well. I hope you can. But if you can't, sorry. Apologies. But I'm trying here.